Hi, I'm Tim Miller. I'm with the Harford County Department of Planning and Zoning. I want to thank you for your willingness to join us on this task today. And basically what we're doing here today is having you students provide an environmental survey. And you're part of a multi-task effort by other students, so you're just a part of the whole process here. And what we're looking at for you to do is survey and provide insight on the approval process for the Bush River expansion, the marina. So again, we're looking forward to your input, and we're located here in Bush River, Otter Point Creek. The ultimate task of providing the environmental survey is for me to make the proper decision. And you're going to make recommendations, and those recommendations are either going to be approval of the project, disapproval, or approval with recommendations. And remember, whatever you do, you're going to have to justify your recommendation. So keep that in mind. Remember, whatever you decide, you have to make sure there's a balance between economic development and the natural environment. Waterfront access in Harford County is at a premium, so if done properly, it should be an amenity. But again, that's for you to decide, and you have to take into consideration the limits of the environment. So again, thanks again for your participation, and I look forward to receiving your report.
Hi there, I'm Mike Green, president of the ABC Company. Today I would like to share with you an exciting project that is a win-win for everybody that loves the Chesapeake Bay. What do we plan to do? We would like to take an existing marina, the marina that's already there, and expand upon it. What does this mean? Less disturbance to the environment. That's all we plan to do. Harford County is fortunate at being one of Maryland's counties to be located along the Chesapeake Bay. This vast environmental treasure provides jobs, recreation, and sheer natural joy to millions every year. Unfortunately, a big portion of Harford County's shoreline is owned and restricted by the U.S. Army. Approximately 75% is owned by the federal government. Therefore, 25% is remaining, and most of that is under private ownership. This simply means less access to the bay for Harford County citizens, and actually anyone else visiting Harford County. The ABC Company, we found a way to help people get to the bay and benefit Harford County on many levels. The ABC Company is in the job of making things better. We put together plans that will provide more boat launches and docking spaces. The addition of a retail marina store and restaurant will provide convenience and consolidation. Face it, we will all have to do our best to make the most of natural resources these days. We also have plans to develop rentals of small watercraft, fishing boats, jet skis, and plan all relaxing canoes will be made available to everybody. And boating isn't the only thing. This is a place where we look forward to having a quality swimming beach where the young and old can enjoy the sun, surf, and sand. The ABC Company wants to take what's here and just make it better. I freely admit the ABC Company is a business and looking toward a profit from this project. But we've been around for nearly 20 years and hope to become a permanent part of Harford County. Therefore, we want to make sure that everyone will benefit from this project. We've estimated that our expanded marina will translate into nearly $30 million for Harford County every year. Not only will the new marina provide a strong tax base, but surrounding businesses will benefit too. All of this means a greater revenue for your county and your state. Then there are jobs. As the ABC Company finishes this gem upon the Bush River, your new marina will provide new jobs, full-time, part-time, and seasonal jobs, and not just low-scale jobs. This marina will need managers, technicians, and recreational professionals. But imagine, what a place to get your first part-time job. Jet skis, swimming, and getting paid for it. Overall, the ABC Company wants this marina to be a showplace of green technology. The Chesapeake Bay is a wonderful but fragile treasure. As we develop our plans, our main concern was with the health and the protection of the beautiful Chesapeake Bay. We want people to enjoy this resource far into the future. Our construction techniques adhere to low-impact methods. The facility will incorporate solar power and environmental friendly materials. We will recycle, even when it comes to the sanitation system. But in the end, the Chesapeake Bay has to be a healthy place, or we, the ABC Company, will be out of business. And remember, we want to make it a better place.
Hello, my name is Heather Helm, and I'm the park naturalist for Harford County and the Anita Sea Light Estuary Center, which sits right here on Otter Point Creek. I understand that you are tasked with doing the environmental assessment for the new expansion of the marina at the end of our road here. Well, that's a very formidable task, and I wish you the best of luck. There's a lot of things to consider with that. I mean, obviously, Harford County is growing by leaps and bounds. More people are moving out here, especially the Route 40 corridor, and they need places to recreate and eat and have fun. And an expanded marina would offer those opportunities. Of course, there are plenty of other marinas and restaurants around as well, especially on the Bush River and Otter Point Creek as well. And I just hope that when you're doing your environmental assessment and looking at what's here now, you'll remember that Otter Point Creek and the Bush River are already really well impacted from many things, from development upstream, all the houses and new developments going in, and all the current businesses and huge parking lots of impervious material and all the water running down with the soil. Well, I've seen this river turn really muddy. Every time after it rains, it's muddy, and it stays muddy for a long time. So we have those kind of impacts. We already have tons of people recreating out here. Obviously, I'm out there leading public canoe trips. We're out doing research, and we're always having to work around people jet skiing or kayaking or boating out there already. So the river's pretty busy on those weekends in the summer. But, you know, it obviously would help as far as bringing business and jobs to the area. But we do have to weigh that with the fact that this is a developed area, and there's not a whole lot room, in my opinion, for a lot more development on this area. So I hope when you really start looking at your assessment that you're going to take now of this area, that you'll remember all the things that we already have out here, and to take that into consideration and know that a certain body of water or a certain habitat only has a certain capacity to handle so much development and impacts, and at a certain point when you go past its carrying capacity, it's going to start degrading. And so we really need to be looking at that. I personally think we're about at that point. Other people have different opinions. So that's going to be your task ahead of you, and I wish you the best of luck, and I'll be looking forward to the results. There are several major issues that the environmental assessment team really needs to consider when looking at the environment in Otter Point Creek and this proposed expansion of the marina. First off, Otter Point Creek is already heavily developed in its watershed, meaning there are many homes, warehouses, and businesses located upstream all along Winter's Run and then what becomes Otter Point Creek. And this development, of course, means a lot of soil coming down when you actually do the construction, a lot of chemicals, people are fertilizing lawns, and a lot of impervious materials. Parking lots, driveways, roads, I mean right there's Route 40. Water and rainfall cannot seep down into these impervious materials, and they run off really fast, and they hit the soil, and they gather dirt and toxins off the roads and car grease and gasoline, and then poof, they all come right down here at the bottom of the watershed, which is Otter Point Creek. And if we're going to be adding even more things to this watershed, that's even taxing it even more than what I think it's already about taxed at its maximum. The waters of Otter Point Creek and the Bush River are already susceptible to many different issues and problems. We often have fish die-offs due to lack of oxygen. Now, the lack of oxygen sometimes happens for natural reasons, but sometimes is influenced by people. For instance, all the sediments that have been coming down due to developments and the impervious materials on the watershed, all these sediments are very fine, muddy sediments, and they become suspended and resuspended very easily in Otter Point Creek due to boat traffic, recreation, storm events. And these sediments, they don't flush very well out, and the toxins that are in them don't flow well out into the bay because we're sort of in a little isolated arm up here, and the flushing only occurs very slowly and usually with a bigger storm event. Normally the sediments with all the chemicals and possible pollutants stay right here in the creek, and they may flush around within the creek itself. And this, of course, is really bad for the submerged aquatic vegetation, which grow in here and provide oxygen to the water, which, of course, the fish and aquatic life need. And the submerged aquatic vegetation get covered in these fine sediments, and so they can't grow as well. And, of course, things like dredging, boat traffic, they also help to resuspend the sediments. So you have this really unique system that's sort of like a big pool with only one little outlet, and the water, everything that comes in here generally stays here and only gets flushed very infrequently. Basically only gets cleaned very infrequently. So a lot of your pollutants and your resuspended sediments are just staying here. And so we have to really be careful about what we're doing in this watershed, because whatever we add, pollutants or sediments, is basically going to stay here, except for a very little bit of flushing that may occur on storm events and a little bit of tidal action. Development projects will come and go, but once we alter this natural environment, it'll take a long time to get it back, if ever.